Hey everyone, happy Friday. I am coming to you live for our last community check-in before early vote starts. I'm out here in front of the campaign office looking crazy, hair all over the place. But no, that is the way of things. Tell folks that you start getting down to the last days of the campaign. It's really about hustle, heart, and grind, talking to as many voters as you possibly can, and just be committed to getting as many people involved in the process as you possibly can. But if this is your first time joining me, I am Ruby Powell-Dennis, and I'm proud to be the Democratic nominee for Tennessee State Senate. I am running to replace Brian Kelsey. I'm woo, if y'all been paying attention to the news, you know that Brother Kelsey is in some trouble. And so, it's time for some change. I'm proud to be running, representing this beautiful, beautiful district that I live in. I'm filled with just wonderful people who, like many of you, want something different. And so today's conversation, I want to spend a little bit of time just talking about misinformation, disinformation, because unfortunately, it's not just enough for us to get out and tell people to vote, but to also make sure we're talking about what does it mean when you're getting bad information, and how do you go to reliable sources and places to get information where you can make an informed decision. So there are a couple of groups that I want to start with and just lift up. Civic Tennessee has done just a great job of making sure that no matter your political preferences, if you're a Democrat, Republican, or unaffiliated, or somewhere in between, Civic Tennessee has just done a lot of work to make sure that you can get access to voter guides, that you can actually see what are the issues that candidates are campaigning on. And so I just want to encourage you to check out their website. They have been working the last several years to make sure that voters like you have the information they need to make the decisions that you want to make, based on the issues that are impacting you, your family, and the things you care most about in your community. So I wanted to start by just lifting up Civic Tennessee, or Civic TN. You can find them anywhere on social media and the internet if you simply type in Civic TN in your search engine. So I did want to highlight that group. There's another group that is just doing remarkable work, and it is the Shelby County Voter Alliance. And so you might have seen them out in their yellow shirts with blue writing. They are working furiously across this entire county, meeting with voters, letting voters test out the new voting machines. They were here as a part of the work happening last night, to allow voters to come and test the voting machines before early vote begins. And so I wanted to highlight the work of the Shelby County Voter Alliance. It is actually a coalition of over 30 partners, a number of which are C3 organizations, which means that they take dollars, grant dollars, public dollars, to be able to provide factual information to voters so that voters can make, again, the right decision for themselves. So those are two groups I wanted to highlight. They're going to be doing some events in the coming weeks, parties at the polls. Rides to the polls are being offered by the NAACP, which is also an organization committed to helping voters stay engaged and be able to, exercise their right to vote. Those groups exist because unfortunately, Tennessee is ranked 50th in terms of voting rights. We are some of the worst in the nation in terms of access to the ballot. If you have a college ID, you cannot use that to go vote. You must have a driver's license, I believe a hunting license. There are all these other forms of identification that you need to bring. But part of that is just, unfortunately, a push to make sure that certain people are able to vote. It is an extension of the big lie of the 2020 elections. And so I'm sharing that to say that disinformation and misinformation in Tennessee really is about getting, when people do get information, you're not sure, who the person is, what they're running for. That level of voter confusion at the ballot is absolutely not the way our democracy should function. So please check out Civic TN, check out the Voter Alliance. They are putting out voter guides and resources. The library has done an excellent job this cycle of making sure that You know, if you're not sure how to register to vote, which that deadline has passed, it was October 11th. If you're not sure if your registration is accurate, you can always go to the public library, and our librarians are willing to help you make sure that you're ready to vote and that you have a plan to vote. And so that's where I want to make sure I finish our conversation today. Please make a plan to vote. 85% of folks in Shelby County, your precincts changed with redistricting. It changed because of population shifts. Some precincts were eliminated, others were not. And so if you did not vote May 3rd, if you did not vote August 4th, please go to Go Vote TN. Go Vote TN to check your voter registration status and to make a plan to vote. Because, you know, we assume that, oh, I've been voting, there shouldn't be a problem. I will go and just show up at this polling location. And you might find that that polling location is not there, especially if you voted at the Agri Center. The Agri Center is not, it has not been an early voting location. And so you just want to make sure that you have a plan to vote, especially if you are a consistent November 8th election day voter. Because due to redistricting, and this applies no matter where you live, redistricting impacted us all over the country. If you have not already voted this cycle, please go ahead and make a plan to vote and make a plan to, you know, go to the polls, that is still a polling location, and check your information if you're in Tennessee on Go Vote TN. So with that, that concludes my quick, you know, community check-in just about misinformation and disinformation. I just wanted to make sure that I shared some sources with you so that if you're someone who, you know, you don't mind watching a 5 or 10 minute video about politics, this is your video that you can forward to others. Go Vote TN, Civic TN, Civic Tennessee, and the Shelby County Voter Alliance are all organizations and our public libraries working overtime to make sure that voters like you get the information you need and a plan in place to go vote. Now, before I sign off, I'd be remiss if I did not wish my oldest niece, Megan, a happy birthday. She's in Florida, and so her family was impacted by Hurricane Ian. So, Megan, I want you to know we love you in Tennessee. We are lifting you up. And I don't sing well. She knows this, but I'm going to sing a little bit of happy birthday. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I love you, Megan, and I love you, Shelby County. Please go vote.